If you are an anime watcher, you have probably heard that Naruto has some of the best hand-to-hand fights of all anime, no matter if you are a Naruto fan or not. But is it really just the hand-to-hand combat, or animation, or the choreography? What is it that makes even the haters of the show somewhat agree to the fact that Naruto has some of the best fights? No, not that one. If we want to find out the true nature and reason why these fights are so captivating, we have to go to the roots of writing and storytelling, because that's what Kishimoto and the animators of the show have gotten down perfectly. But before that, let's just address one of the obvious reasons why these fights are so good, which is the animation and the choreography, like I talked about. I mean, come on, this is obvious. The way that characters interact with each other through the animation and their fluid movement definitely makes up the huge chunk of satisfaction that we get. But we know that that is not all of it. There is obviously something much more than animation and choreography, and that's when Kishimoto comes in. You see, from some of the first fights ever in Naruto to the last one by far, we have seen one huge storytelling aspect that many fail to incorporate, which is significance. It is nearly impossible to call out a fight from Naruto series as a whole and say that this fight was unnecessary for the plot and for the viewer. Listen to this carefully. I said unnecessary for the plot and the viewer. Let me explain. Kishimoto has managed to weave together an amazing web of correlation between the story's needs and the viewer's needs. And he has managed to do so by using emotions. We see Gaara versus Rock Lee for the first time and our jaw dropped faster than the way its Lee dropped. But do you know why this fight is so iconic? Not just because it is animated or choreographed well, but because of what it makes us feel. It makes us understand the character of Rock Lee. It makes us feel for him. And all of this happens right after the fight, which is why it is so remarkable. And I know you must be thinking that this is very basic and obvious, but I don't think you realize the degree to which Kishimoto has implemented this strategy. Think of Sasuke versus Itachi. Sasuke is revealed the truth about Itachi immediately after the fight. Naruto versus Pain. Naruto immediately finds out who the real Pain is and their past. Tobi declares the war immediately after Sasuke's attack on the Kage summit. The list goes on and on. The point is, like I said, by weaving these great plot points so close to the fights and action sequences, Kishimoto has attached significance to those fights. And then he uses the said significance to boost the experience we get from the next fight, and so on. Two of the best examples of this are the staples of the show itself: Naruto versus Sasuke and Kakashi versus Obito. Throughout these fights, we have always seen the images of the previous fights and the moments. These points act like a boost which stack up all the emotions, all the experiences and thoughts you have had, and then they pour it into this battle that is being shown now. It acts as a real life symbolism of poetry in motion, because at that point these boosters have stacked so much that now there is no need for words. The action itself has meaning. The fight represents a thought, a memory, an ideology. It is not just choreographed animation. It is the struggle that the viewer is having within themselves that needs to be resolved. And that is exactly what the story does next, which ends in a satisfaction like no other. And that is why Naruto has some of the best fights in anime.